It began as a quiet unease, a murmur spreading through towns and cities. At first it was just a few voices whispering discontent, but soon the quiet murmur grew into a chorus. Work became an afterthought, and then, almost overnight, it became extinct. Shops closed, streets emptied, businesses folded. This collapse was not merely economic, it had a darker spiritual root. Society had turned from faith, leaving their creator out of their lives. They had forgotten the warnings written long ago. At first, it was just a phenomenon confined to the restless few, the people who grew tired of the daily grind. Men and women felt themselves drained, hollow, as though the jobs they performed were sucking the life out of them. Gradually, the malaise spread. Workers once dedicated to their jobs found themselves unable to leave their homes. Office buildings emptied as people wandered the streets aimlessly. The world was changing, and no one knew how to stop it. As days turned to weeks, cities became ghost towns. Empty cars lined the streets, shops were boarded up, and abandoned warehouses collected dust. People no longer gathered in parks or squares, instead they wandered aimlessly. The world was a shell, devoid of purpose, echoing with the silence of human ambition gone cold. Without work, the infrastructure of society decayed. Electricity became a thing of the past. Clean water stopped flowing as purification systems broke down. The rich wandered aimlessly, grappling with a despair they had never known. Amid the chaos, a voice rose in the hearts of a few. They remembered the scriptures long forgotten. In the deep hours of the night, people began to experience disturbing visions. Dreams of empty fields, desolate warehouses, and barren earth filled their minds. Many began to feel a presence, an unseen weight pressing on them, reminding them of the life they had forsaken for riches and ease. They heard the quiet but insistent voice of conviction: you cannot serve both God and money. Matthew 6:24. Those who once laughed at warnings from faith now trembled, seeing in their dreams the desolate cities they had helped create. Some awoke in terror, falling to their knees and weeping, feeling for the first time the horror of their own spiritual emptiness. Amid the despair, a small remnant began to rise. They turned back to the scriptures for guidance. They began to help one another, sharing what little they had, growing food in abandoned lots. The bonds of community began to return. Esther, once a wealthy socialite, found herself leading these gatherings. She reminded them, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. Though many clung to despair, those who sought God found life amidst the ruins. They worked with joy born of purpose and community. They embraced a life of meaning and faith. Their lives became beacons of hope, small flames flickering in the shadows.